Hi, welcome to another Figma tutorial. Today we are going to create landing page for skincare. And for the product mockups, I will use Pacdora website which provide huge collection of 3D mockups and animation for products. So let's start. First we need to select frame tool and inside the preset panel let's select desktop and rename this so skincare landing page. Next we need to click on the layout grid option and inside the grid select column, select 12 column and slightly decrease the opacity to 8. For the margin let's use 96 and for the gutter let's use 24. So this is our grid. Next we need to select frame and increase the height, so here we will type 900. Okay, now select frame tool again and click, align it to the top lip and inside the width let's type 1440, which is width of main frame, and in the height let's type 700. Let's assign fill color so slightly gray because we are working on a wireframe face, so let's use this light gray color. We need to rename this header. Select type tool, press T on the keyboard and click inside the frame. We don't have logo right now, so let's type. And for the font we will use Form. It's a Google free font, so you can also download it from the Google font. For the height use 36 is fine. For the color let's make it white and center line and let's place it here for now. I think for the size let's use 40 and let's slightly darker the frame. Now for the H1 let's again select type tool and let's type. Select again the font and this time we will use 72 and all caps, color white, left align. From the bottom let's use 96. Now we need to select the line tool, so we will press L on the keyboard and draw a line 1248. Let's make it white. Let's place it 24 from the logo. Now we need to select these icons, so copy these and paste it inside the main frame. Place it on the right side. For the left side we will use this menu icon. Now let's select these and align it. Let's use 40 and we will use 24 from the bottom. Okay, so now we need to group the elements. Now select logo, right click, use outline stroke and let's rename this to logo. For the icon it's already renamed and let's rename this to icon search. Select these three icons and right click, use frame selection. Let's rename this icon dash nav. Now select all these three items, right click, frame selection and let's rename this to nav bar. This will be separator or divider. Okay, so now we properly assign framing selection, so later on we will convert this to auto layout, which is a good practice, but for now we will use frame so it's organized and properly rename. Okay, so this is our header. Now let's work on the other section. Okay, so as we are going to create our wireframe, it's a good practice to preview it. So let's click on the present and here we will see font size and everything on the 100% view. Now click on the main frame and change the background color. So let's make it slightly gray because we are creating white boxes so we can clearly see. Now let's create white frame. Select again the frame and inside the 6 column let's make a white frame. Make it white. For the height let's use 700. For the spacing 96. Now let's select type tool and let's type H2 or heading 2 will be. Let's make it 2 line. We are going the form text and regular 72 black. Now let's place it here. Just duplicate this and let's make it paragraph. I have already text, so let's copy it and double click, paste and match style. Okay, now it's time to change font. So for the body we will use enter. First we need to remove uppercase, regular. Now let's use 16, and for line height, instead of hard values like 24 or 32, use the percentage value. So we will use 140%, and let's preview in the next window. We need to slightly increase. Instead of 140, we will use, and let's make it auto height properly, align it to the grid. Let's try 24. Next we need again to select frame tool, create a button. So let's draw a frame. Let's make it black. Let's first type the text, so then we will make the size perfect. So call this view product. Let's center a line and make it medium. For text size, let's use 14 and make it uppercase. For the spacing, use 10%. Align it vertical and horizontal. So press Option VH, select the button, and let's make it. Let's hide the grid, so press Shift G and it will turn off grid. Now let's first rename this section, then we will move to the right side. So let's click on this left side. Okay, so I noticed one thing, we didn't change size of the H2, so let's make it 48 because 72 is for the H1, so we didn't want to use H1 again and again. So let's make it 72, and now let's align it properly 24, and let's place the button double of 24. Let's use 48. Let's preview this. Here we use 72 and here we use 48 for the H2, which is looking good. So now let's rename the section. Okay, so this is our button and these two are our copy text. So let's right click and make it frame selection. Here we will just type. Now select all these three items and right click frame selection. This is the left side. Here inside another frame, content. Inside content we have button and text. Later on we will convert this to auto layout. So now select content frame and align it vertical and horizontal. So press the option key VH on the keyboard, so it will make it properly align. Okay, now let's work on the right side. We will just draw a frame because here we will just place an image of the product. Let's make it slightly darker gray, or maybe we can use the background color. Select both and right click frame selection. This is our about section. So we have header and about section. Now let's preview this and it's looking good. Now let's move to the another section. For the benefit section, let's duplicate this because this element we will use for that section. So place this on 96. Let's rename this to. Now let's ungroup this. So Shift Command G, it will ungroup and bring the image to this side and content on the right side. And for the height, let's use 600. For the width, let's slightly over the image. Let's align it. For the content, let's ungroup this. We don't need button here, and same for copy text. This will be our smaller text here at the top. Now let's make this text in one line, and this will be our H3. Make it 40. Select a line tool. Let's draw a line. Okay, so we will use 24 for the spacing. Now let's duplicate this. Let's hide the grid, so Shift G. Let's copy the actual text, double click and paste and match style. Okay, let's all select this and let's rename this to separator. All these text and separator, and right click frame selection content. Now press Option Shift VH, so it will center a line. Copy the arrow and paste it here. Make it black and also align it to the text. So let's make it 24. And one last thing, we need to make this section color. For this we don't need white, let's make it slightly gray. I think we need to copy this color and let's make it slightly lighter. And now select the content, make all this from the selection color, so we don't need to select each and every single item. So from selection color, we just need to change here and everything will be updated to one color. So let's make it white, and we need slightly darker color, something like this. Now let's preview. Everything's looking perfect. Let's see first. Here is the image and this is the right side. Let's again frame selection, call this so about and benefit section. Now let's work on the popular categories section. So for this we will reuse content, so let's duplicate about section, place it 96. Okay, now let's first rename this popular. Okay, next let's first ungroup this, so I will use shift command G, and now ungroup again this section. Now let's center line, and first let's ungroup this. For the small text, let's type shop by categories. Let's make it to the auto width, and make it caps lock. Let's add the spacing 10% inside the letter and place it on 96. Now let's make it one line, center line. This is H2. So now let's also make this one auto width and type popular categories. Let's select the button and place it. For now let's just duplicate this, turn on grid, so shift G, and we will be using 3 products, so let's make it 4 column. For the height, let's use 600 uncheck and let's make it 600. For the roundness, let's make it full round. Duplicate these two text and we will reuse. So we have already used H1, H2, H3, and now it's time to introduce H4. For the H4 we will use 24. And okay, for this text let's remove spacing and also remove the uppercase, make it bold, and center line, also center line to the product chart and make it product 1, and the price will be. And now select both text and price and place it 40, and let's use maybe 16 is fine. So now select both title and price, right click and make it frame selection and name this product info, and this one is product image, so let's place it here. Select both, right click, frame selection, let's name this product 1. Now let's duplicate this. Let's rename this to product 2, duplicate again and make it product 3. Okay, so for this spacing let's use 80. Now select both these text and frame selection, name this, let's type title, and now select all the products and title section, right click, frame selection, call this popular. Now it's time to create our promo section. For the product promo section, let's select frame, and we can reuse header frame, but let's draw a new frame and make it 700. For the color, let's copy this color and let's try 600, and let's grab this title text and paste it here. So same for this, and now select title frame, click on this option resize to fit, so it will resize the frame to text. Or maybe we just need one thing more. Let's try copy this button, and it's a good time to create component and reuse it. So let's paste it here, create component. Now copy the component, double click and paste to replace. So this is one here, and let's paste another here. Now select both and let's use 48 is fine. select both text and button, place it here 96. Now select all this text and button. Let's type. Okay, so now let's rename this section and we will call this promo. So this is our promo section. Now let's place it 96 from the last section, so let's use 96. Now let's preview this from the top. Here is our hero section, about, benefit section, product section and promo section. Now let's work on the footer. For the footer we will need logo. Let's create component, select the logo group and press the option key, duplicate this and now select create component. Now let's add component property and add variant. So this one is white and this one will be dark, and property will be logo white and dark. Now let's select the dark one and okay, so now select selection color and let's make it dark. Grab a copy and let's see if it's working. Logo white and logo dark. Okay, so just cut this and paste it here. Now we need to select, let's copy this text and paste it here. Paste here. Let's use this text. Let's make it 14 regular. Let's use 24 and 96 height. Okay, now let's duplicate this and for the font let's use form and let's make it all caps. Make it 14, home, products and shop. So now let's select these three, right click and make it frame selection. Let's call this menu and align it to the right side. For the icons, so I have downloaded from the community. Paste here the social icon. Let's use 24. Select this, right click, make it frame selection and let's call this footer right and select this. Now select both, right click, frame selection and so let's check the spacing 96. Okay, it's looking perfect. Now let's preview the last time. We have completed our wireframing section. Now it's time to create style guide, also assign colors, and then we will move for our imagery. So for the style guide, I have already selected these three colors, so let's add it to our local style. First select the dark one, click on these four circles, click on this plus, select style and let's use dark and this one will be primary and let's use this one light. So we have added these three colors to our local style. Now select the body and like the main frame, click on these four circles, click on this light color. We have applied first color to our main page. Okay, now select this title. We will also create text style, so this one will be H1. Select this one. For the H1 spacing, let's try, I think 100% is good, so let's create style from this. Let's delete this style and select H1. Now click and create style, so H1. For the H2, let's use 100% line height and now let's create H2. This will be H3, so now let's create H3. Let's leave the line height for the H3 because we are not using two lines, so let's use H3 for this and try to use, where is H4, so let's use H4. For the line height, let's define line height 100% and Let's create H4. This is H2. Okay, so this is the caption text. So let's click on it, and or maybe we can call this subtitle. This is H2. Now let's create style from body text. So let's call this P large. Here we will use P small. So this is small. Okay, now let's use P large strong. So let's create this. This is bold text. I think let's use this one is H5. So let's use H5 for this one. Now select this landing page and click on the main frame. Select black color. Inside the selection color, let's click on this black and assign the dark color. Now it is all assigned to the dark color, which is good. Now manually select this button and let's create dark one. Okay, now let's create component from this section and then we will move on to the imagery. So let's select the first product, create component, and now let's duplicate this. Select the master component, cut this, now paste it here. Now let's copy product 1 and paste to replace here and paste to replace here. Okay, select the second one and let's duplicate this and let's rename this one to product 3. So we have created components from this section. Okay, so now let's move to the main component. Select this one. So this is H4. So let's assign the proper text style, and this is body strong. So let's use strong. Okay, and now it's time to remove the fill, add a stroke. So I think let's use brown stroke. So now let's preview this and it's looking perfect. Also we need to assign proper style to each section as I did for this one. This is like H2, so let's use H2, and subtitle and button is also okay. So first let's make this section color because we have already color. So let's color this section. Okay, so for the hero section, let's paste the image. So I find this image on Pixels, and you can search for any image inside Pixel. So let's use this. Let's preview inside. This line is slightly sharp, so let's make it 50%. Just press 5 on the keyboard so it's decreased the opacity. Let's use 30%. This our hero image. We can also add some overlay and make it slightly black, and also overlay make it 10%. So this is the gradient. Let's use 40% and 20% overlay. I find this image on Prefix. You can also search for product background. So a lot of images, but I select this image. So we will use for our product this background. Let's copy and paste another background image. After the background images, I will show you how I create mockup for the product. So stay tuned and we will create a product mockup because I have already the product label design. So we will create a product shots and place it here. Okay, now I'm inside Prepec and let's download the product label because this is a fictional product, so we don't need to create real product. So this is just for the project purpose. So let's type skincare label design. Let's see if we can find some good looking label design. Let's search for the free. I like this one. Okay, so now it's time to place our product into real-time mockup. So let's create our product mockup. Now it's time to go to pacdora.com, and inside Pacdora, as we can see, we can generate 3D mockup from any design. And here is a huge collection of products, boxes, bottle and food packaging, pouches and it's a huge library of products. We can just place our design and Pacdora will generate 3D looking mockup, and also we can generate video from 3D mockup also. If you want to use Pacdora for your own products mockup, link is in the description below and use the promo code to get discount. So let's click on mockups and let's generate some mockups. So on the left side, as we can see, here is a filter, and if we need any kind of product mockup, we can just explore it here. But let's randomly search and let's type skincare and let's see if we can find our product. So here we are, and I think it's great. We have just find our first product, second product. Let's see our third product. Okay, so here is our third product. So we will be using these three products. Now let's first click on product like this one. Okay, so Pacdora generate our product and now we can customize it. So let's make it slightly straight so that we can clearly see our design. In this window, here is our model, so we can change model background and also select video template. We can animate our product and create our video. So we need a static product. Let's stick with this one, and in this panel we can upload our design. As we can see, upload your image. So let's click on it. I have already uploaded, so let's apply this one. If you want to add images, let's click and upload your images, but I have already uploaded, so let's use this one. Let's click on it, make it slightly bigger to cover the area, or maybe I have already uploaded the square version of the label. Let's use that one. Let's delete previous one. It's looking good. Let's slightly make it bigger. So let's use the square label and save it. Okay, so now we have placed our label. It's time to customize our product. So for the product material, let's select this one. Click on first the surface and let's change. Basically it's making it slightly metallic look inside the texture, so let's use this one, but make it less. So let's use maybe 5%. For the roughness also let's use 20%, and transmission make it little bit realistic, so let's make it 5%. Opacity is 100% for the body. Okay, so now basically this is the product. Also make this one is 5. For the roughness, let's make it slightly softer. Let's use 5. Transmission, let's make it 7. And for the opacity, instead of transparent, let's use it white, which is looking cool. So 100% transparent. And also now let's try transmission, so let's increase it slightly, maybe 20% is fine, so let's use 20. For the lid, we can change the color, so let's try dark brown like this one instead of black. So this is looking perfect, so let's use this one. And for the size, let's stick with the 30 ml. We have almost create our product. Now let's click on the background. Here we can apply some colors, but I have already placed the images in the Figma file, so we don't need any gradient or image. So let's click on color and let's use transparent. And also in the video section, as we can see, here is our animation. We can apply it to our product, but we will be using static product, so we are not going to use this option. So let's export our first product. Okay, so in the export, here is our die line, mockup and videos if we applied any videos to our product, and also we can generate HTML code and share option. But let's click on the mockup. Inside we need PNG instead of JPEG. If we applied any background, so then we need to export it in JPEG, but this time we will be using PNG. We need to upload it 2K and 4K. 4K is a huge option, but for our website 2K is fine, so let's use 2K. Here is our ratio, so let's check different ratio sizes. We have almost our boxes in Figma is 1:1 ratio, so let's use this one. And now let's click on export now. As we can see, it's exporting and creating our products, so let's wait for it, and once it's done, we are ready to work on the other two products. Okay, so here is our product preview which is looking perfect, and now let's place it inside our Figma file and also generate the two other. So I will be just create two other and the method is the same. So let's make the process faster. Okay, so now let's first click on the first product and paste it inside Figma file, and let's resize it. For the resize, let's press K in the keyboard and resize it. Okay, so this is our first product we placed. Let's place our second product. So for this, copy and paste. Same thing, let's press K on the keyboard and use this preset. Now let's slightly make it bigger and place it on the surface. Okay, so now place product inside popular categories. For this, let's double click and preview. So as we can see, we have converted this to component. So let's click on it and go to the master component, which is place it here at the top. Let's double click and select the image frame. Let's click on fill, and inside fill color, instead of fill, let's use image, and here we can upload our image. So just click on choose image. Now let's return to the instance, because these are all instant of the master component, so all showing same product, but we can change it locally. So let's double click on this product and click on the fill and change. Okay, so now as we can see, the last product image is slightly big, so let's click and select crop and press option key and slightly smaller, maybe something like this, just looking good. Okay, so now it's time to place all the product inside the promo section. So let's place it here. So select main frame, copy the first product and paste it here. Now let's resize this and place it something like this, and now select the other product. Now let's select all these products, align it. I think we need to slightly modify the color, so let's select and let's make it radial. Okay, now let's click on this to flip the gradient. Okay, it's looking good, but let's place the text top, make it simple. So let's use 96. Here is our product collection. I think it's looking good, so let's use this one. We can also apply some images to the background. Let's copy the image I have already downloaded from prefix. Let's select promo frame and paste it here. Let's send it to back and make it transparent. Saturation, let's make it 0, and let's try blend mode. Select frame, and for the gradient make it slightly smooth something, and now let's reduce the opacity of the image, make it 70%. I'm just pressing the number keys on the keyboard and the opacity is adjusted like 100%, 90%, 80%. So let's try 90%. This is it. So now our website is ready. Let's preview this. I think everything is looking perfect, and this is our landing page for the product. And if you want to make it responsive, so let me know in the comments. I will create another video and make it completely auto layout and also make the frame completely responsive. So we will be working on tablet and mobile. Okay, so that's it, and hope you like the tutorial and learn a lot of things from it. Thank you.